Hello, and welcome to Mary Kay News. Just teasing. We are here at our Mary Kay Success event here in Manhattan, Kansas. And we are going to be talking tonight about sharing the Mary Kay opportunity. Who's excited about that? Me too, and I am excited about empowering you to be sharing the Mary Kay opportunity in a quick, effective manner, okay? So we're going to be talking about that. Feel free to ask questions as we go along the way. I have designed a new Career Talk Q&A form, and these are going to be available on our Facebook page. So I like saving paper, and so I thought 2 to a page was going to be perfect. And so before we start going over this, I want to talk to you a little bit about sharing the Mary Kay opportunity. And, okay. Who can tell me why we share the Mary Kay opportunity with people?
Because Mary Kay told us to pass it on.
That's right. Mary Kay's one of her last wishes was for us to pass this opportunity on. Yes, we do move up the career path, but you know it's not about us. It's about sharing the opportunity. And Mary Kay has something for everyone. Wouldn't you all agree?
Yes.
Okay. So there's something for everyone. So how much information is there about Mary Kay opportunity that we could be sharing with people?
Loads.
Loads. You're right, there's loads. There's lots and lots and lots. I don't know about you, but I get so passionate about this Mary Kay opportunity that I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Anybody here like that? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's right. So we're going to talk about tonight about how to get to the point, how to find what these people need and fill it, okay? When you are at a facial or a party and you know someone there does not wear makeup. Do you really focus on makeup? Is that the big topic that you work on with that gal?
No.
No. You focus on what her need is. What is her need?
Skincare.
That's right. She's probably, everybody's got skin, so she wants to take great care of her skin. That's what you focus on. If you have someone that has a certain personality type, like if you talk to me about there's tons of training available in Mary Kay, I'd be like, so? Because that's not my personality type, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about different personality types tonight, how to figure out different personality types if you haven't figured that out yet, but also what information each personality type wants to know about Mary Kay. So there's certain things that everyone wants to know about Mary Kay, you know, like money, flexibility. There's certain things that apply to everyone, but we're going to go ahead and go through some of this information and hopefully help you to share the opportunity and really dig deeper with people and find out what they want. You know, what is their need? Because when you can fill their need, guess what? They're going to be more excited, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and start talking about different personality types. You'll see that on our Career Talk form, there's D personality, I personality, S personality, and C personality. That's why this is here. By the way, I just created this week for us. So I'm pretty excited about it. A D personality, this is someone that wants to take credit for things just like I did. Okay, a D personality is someone that is pretty dominant. They're pretty forthright. They're motivated by achievement. They're motivated by career opportunity, by moving up the career path. They'd rather do things quick, get it done, get it done, get it done. Okay? So, you'll notice on these questions down here, these are some of the things that we're going to ask these certain personality types. Are you a goal setter? What is she going to say? Yes. Are you an achiever? Yes. Do you like being promoted? Yes. They really like that. Next, let's talk about the I personality. The I personality, they like to have fun. They like to earn prizes. They like to talk about themselves and kind of what they're excited about and what really goes on in their life. And they're the life of the party, okay? The S personality, they're steady, they're solid, These people are people that are loyal, they're family oriented, and they're team players. They're stick by your side type of people no matter what. And a C personality is someone that is organized, structured, they want to see something in writing, they want to see literature about the business opportunity usually before they make a decision about it, or maybe you want to check out your website and look at some videos and thoroughly analyze things. They're very analytical, okay? So, of everything that, like we've discussed here so far, do y'all know kind of what you are?
I've actually, been in Mary Kay where we've done a lot of this training.
Uh-huh.
And before that, I would have put myself with D&I.
Mm-hmm.
However, as I've really looked at this more and observed how I've grown as a
Mhm.
person, I'm actually more S and C than I realized.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some I in me. I do have some D in me,
Mm-hmm.
but S and C are probably the more dominant ones. And I want to grow my D,
Uh-huh.
and because I love prizes and recognition. So
I think you got your D.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure it's risen to the top like I'd like it to, because if it had, I think I would have probably gotten further faster. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like directorship would have already been done.
Yeah.
I would have already
Mhm.
been in my car. I would be talking about becoming a national, and that would be my
Mhm.
goal. But yeah, I think S&C is probably more something that I have to, I need to
Okay.
build the D&I more,
Okay,
because
that
I have
sounds great.
S&C. So
When you become a leader in the company, it's really good to have all of those,
yes.
to have some of everything, because then you can relate to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't be all just one, like, you'll see when we're getting ready to start our events, I'm like, watching my clock, because I want to make sure that we are starting on time, we're ending on time, very conscientious of, the time, about honoring people's time.
Which is
And that is good, and that's that C part of me.
yeah.
And by the way, I like to clean and organize, and not that I stay organized, that's the D part of me. But anyway, or the I part of me, whatever. But it's really important to know what's important to people to find out what you want to talk to them about Mary Kay,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pretend, just think about 4 women in a car. Okay. The D personality, she's the driver. She's driving because she knows where we're going, this is where we're going, this is how we're getting here, and I'm going to go fast. And the C personality,
That's the map.
that's right, it has the map sitting right next to the, up front, right next to D personality, saying this is where we go, this is where we can stop for gas, this is where we can stop for restroom breaks. And so it's very organized, very structured. The I personality is in the back, la 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 la, singing and talking and just like blah blah blah. And the S personality is looking her going, yeah, sure, uh-huh, listening. Just because they're steady, they're loyal, they're right there. And, talking about, oh, well, tell me about your family, because they're very family oriented.
That means I'm the I.
Okay, so have you decided what your personality type is?
I'm definitely the driver. I'm the
You're the D?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Well, you know what, it takes all different types, and we have all types of Mary Kay. What I would like to do now is I would just like to do a mock interview, okay? Who would like to be the Mary Kay customer of mine?
I will.
Okay, all right. So we're just going to go over this because I want you to know what this is going to look like, okay? I'm going to pretend that we've just gotten together briefly before, just for one facial. I booked you for a career talk and your follow-up facial, but the career talk came before because that's just how it worked out with our schedule. So we're getting together like the day after the facial, okay? That's what the scenario is like. So I'm going to put your name here, my consultant name, your cell phone number. Bobby, thank you so much for getting together with me today. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit better last night, but I'm really looking forward to getting to know you a little bit more today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a few quick questions, and you can ask me any questions about Mary Kay. In fact, I encourage you to do that because this is part of my training and moving up the career path to become an independent sales director. So I'm really excited about that. So first of all, okay, so you told me a little bit about yourself last night, but that was kind of in the group. Why don't you tell me a little bit about you?
Well, I'm 19, and I went to 4 semester at Kansas State, and I'm taking a semester off, just trying to figure out what I want to do. But
Okay.
I live with my parents, have an apartment in Manhattan though,
Okay.
and I'm looking for a job, and I want something that is easy to manage. Maybe also have another job on the side as well as
Okay.
something easy.
You're very motivated, so you're looking for a couple of different jobs.
Yes, definitely.
Well, that is really exciting. So, I know that I told you a little bit about myself last night, but I just want to share a little bit about what I do. I started my Mary Kay business like almost 10 years ago. It's really exciting. I just started because I love the products. Did you like the products last night?
Oh, I love the
How'd your skin feel today?
It is so soft.
Oh, that is awesome. I love our skincare. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I started my business because I love the skincare. I knew I was going to use it for life. Everything Mary Kay came out with, I loved. So I was like, I might as well get a 50% discount. So I started my business and then I was just playing with it and I was surprised at how much everyone else loved it as much as I did. And then change came in my life. We started a family and I just needed something with flexibility. I needed 100% flexibility and I wanted to move up the career path. So I just chose to talk to my senior sales director. She told me she made like $69,000 the year before and that was going to be double what I needed to replace my income. So, you know, I got really excited about that because I don't know about you, but I was probably going to have a couple of jobs or something on the side, you know, to make ends meet. But I wanted something just like one thing I could do with all of the flexibility. And so, you know, I'd already fallen in love with Mary Kay. So anyway, I just kind of kicked up my business a notch and I became an independent sales director and I've earned a couple free cars with Mary Kay. Isn't that exciting?
That is really exciting.
I know, it's so much fun. You know, every time I get in my car, it's like I almost have to pinch myself because it is dreamy. Okay, you know, I get to be there with my family and today was my husband's birthday and I got to spend most of the day with him. So it's just really a blessing. So it's been a blessing in my life and I have a goal to become a national sales director because I want other women to experience what I've experienced, you know, with the flexibility with my family and everything. So it's just really, really something I'm passionate about. So based on what you learned last night about Mary Kay and about what we've talked about so far, what would you need to know to make a decision about this?
How easy is it to get started?
Okay. What else?
How much time I really need to put into it.
What else?
Organization, how tough is it to be organized?
Okay. What else?
That's probably it.
Okay, well, let's start with how easy is it to get started? You know, that's just completely up to you. After you make the decision, we usually get together and, you know, I don't fit in the starter kit, but I do come with it. So you always have someone there to kind of guide you and mentor you. And so, do you have a couple of friends
Oh, definitely.
and family members?
Mhm.
Oh, you're good to go. So what we usually do is once you go ahead and get the starter kit coming, then after that we go ahead and get some appointments set up so you can start doing facials right away. And then what you'll do is book a follow-up facial with each one of your friends and they share their follow-up facial with their friends. And then you'll book the follow-up facial with their friends and then you'll meet all of their friends. And so it just kind of expands. So can you see how your business maybe started with a couple of people that you knew and just grew?
Mhm.
Isn't that awesome? That is kind of how it works. Is that kind of what you were talking about how to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, about how to build a customer base. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I answered the right question for you. So you also had a question about the time to put in it. The more that you put in, the more that you will get out. So keep that in mind. But if you were to do one party per week on average, you could look at earning an extra, just based on the company's averages, about an extra $600 per month. And that's based on like a $300 party, okay? So when you have usually 5 to 6 people at an event, usually that's what you would average for sales, okay? So to do a party and to go to your success event, to get some training and things, you'd be looking at like 5 to 7 hours a week. Does that sound pretty interesting?
Oh, definitely.
And if you, of course, if you wanted to increase that and have 2 events or 3 a week, you could definitely multiply your income. So that makes it pretty fabulous. Organization, you know, we don't have a ton of paperwork with Mary Kay. So I was really excited about that because I'm not a person that is really, really, really organized. Okay? I am a person that I just like to get things done. And I like to be organized, but I don't like to organize as much. Does that make sense? So if you are organized, you'll enjoy it because you know, you can alphabetize your products and you can, it's really easy to keep track of things. So if that's what you're kind of asking, is that kind of what you were asking?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great. Let me ask you another question. What would keep you from doing this?
The commitment.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about the commitment that you feel that it takes.
Just making that time in the week to put for all Mary Kay and making appointments and making sure that they don't fall through, or making sure that you have enough appointments to stay on top and not go under in your business.
Okay. Well, let me just share with you a little bit about appointments in general. And, you know, this is not just Mary Kay, but this is doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, hair appointments, nail appointments. Have you ever missed an appointment, like at a doctor's office or something?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Something that you have to keep in mind, that your doctor probably didn't go in the back room and say, oh, Bobby missed her appointment. Oh my gosh, I wonder if if I'm doing the right thing. And so we just, in Mary Kay, we just plan for it. We expect a certain number, because to expect 100% people to show up at their appointments is really kind of setting ourselves up for disappointment. So this is how I guide the consultants in our unit, in my Mary Kay family, who I mentor, to do. Generally, you know, if you have, let's say you had only 2 time slots available, you would want to book 2 parties during those time slots, okay? So we call that double booking. So if you had 2 appointments, let's say you had a 2 o'clock on Saturday and a 10 a.m. on Saturday, and you wanted to make sure that you had a party in each of those time slots, then you would double book them. You would book 2 hostesses at 10 o'clock and 2 hostesses at 2 o'clock. That way, usually half of the appointments that we schedule usually hold. Does that make sense? Okay, sounds good. And what else would keep you from considering this?
I can't really think of anything else.
Okay. How did you feel about that commitment part of things? Does that help you look at it a little bit differently?
Definitely.
Okay, good. That sounds great. Well, let me ask you this. Are you reliable, Bobby?
Yes.
I know you are. Because you got together with me here today, and you're always great about replying to me right away on text. Are you a woman of your word?
Yes.
Great. Are you teachable?
Yes.
Good.
And I do have another question actually
Sure.
that came into my mind. So what would happen if I maybe went to Salina to school and then I was still doing Mary Kay?
If you went to Salina to school and you're still doing Mary Kay, you can take your business with you. Okay, it's completely portable. So you move to Salina, you take your business with you, and you still take care of your people in the Manhattan area, but you also get to build people in the Salina area.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's cool.
And I know I have some great friends that are in the Salina area that have success events. So if you're living in Salina, you probably wouldn't want to drive to Manhattan once a week for events, there's some great events in the Saline area.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad that you asked that because that's one of my favorite things is that you can travel with your business, and really, you know, it's a greater opportunity for you because you get to meet more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you value relationships,
Yes.
Bobby? Are you a goal setter?
Oh, definitely.
Are you a goal hitter?
Uh-huh.
I was kind of sensing that from you. Do you like being promoted?
I love being promoted and recognized.
I know, isn't that awesome? I love recognition. Well, let me just say this. You have the qualities that I am looking for in a new team member. I'd love to work with you. If you chose to work with me, I think that you would be great because you have a great way of connecting with people. You're a very genuine person and you get the job done. And when working in your own business, it's important to have that quality, I feel. So, so what are your thoughts? Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to give it a try?
I can't think of anything.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and go over your agreement right here. And so you would just sign the agreement, take paper agreements with you, take your phone. You can go ahead and sign her up right then and there. How long did that take us? 10 minutes?
15 maybe, I don't even.
15 at the most.
10.
All right, I used to do career talks, and those of you that are watching this know this if you've done conference calls with me. I would get really carried away. I do like to get to know people. That's why we talked about these things up here, about, you know, who she is. Because if I haven't gotten to know her, I do need a little bit more information. So you don't want to get off on too many bunny trails, and you want to kind of get right back to it because you want to honor her time. But wouldn't it be nicer to spend 15 minutes with someone and sign them up, or 15 minutes with someone and release them from it, than spending 45 minutes with someone and then it's like they're saying, yeah, as they listen to you talk the whole time. You haven't gotten any information from them. You haven't asked them any questions. And it's kind of at the point where you're not learning about them. You're just telling them things about Mary Kay. Did I talk to Bobby about how much money we make and how we make our money? She didn't ask. That wasn't important to her. Did we talk about how to earn cars? Or diamonds? Or travel? Or training? Or no, we didn't talk about that because she didn't need to know that to make a decision. She's already gathered some things from the party and, you know, and she's going to learn along the way. So sometimes I feel like we overwhelm people with information. And it's good to have a lot of information, but is it information that they want, or is it stuff just clogging their time and their ears? And if you spent 45 minutes with someone, and like I said before, they said, oh yes, oh yeah, oh that sounds really exciting. And at the end, you said, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to give it a try? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not interested at all. How do you feel about that? You talked till you were blue because you were trying to convince her. You were trying to sell her. Okay? Find out what she needs and then sell her and then offer her the information that she needs to fill that need. Okay? She's 19. She's taken a semester off. She needs money to take place of 2 jobs. I probably could have poked in a little bit of the money information, but when I was talking about telling my I story, I didn't talk about my kids, did I? Did Bobby tell me she had kids? No. Did Bobby want to probably hear about all my kids' stories?
No.
No. Okay? I have lovely kids. Bobby likes my kids. But the point is, who is your audience? Who are you speaking to? Make it relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's really important that you try, and my I story, people say, what's your I story? I'm like, well, it depends on who I'm talking to. If I am telling a short eye story here or at a skincare class. It depends on who's there, who's my audience. And so at this point, I'm talking to Bobby, and so we didn't talk about my kids. We just talked about, yes, I was working full-time, but I needed something with 100% flexibility. What do students need?
Flexibility.
100% flexibility. And they need money and they need flexibility. And I talked about money when I said that my senior sales director made $69,000 that year, and that was twice as much as what I needed to replace my full-time income. So she knew that there was financial possibilities. Okay? What questions do you all have at this point?
You know, and maybe this is, I don't know, but you know, you asked her, is she reliable? What were some, I wrote it down, reliable, dependable, goal setter, goal hitter. I mean, most people aren't gonna tell you their negatives.
Uh-huh.
So when you're asking that, are you trying to affirm to her that's what you're looking for? And when she's saying yes, yes, yes,
I'm glad you asked that.
because we don't always really know.
At this point,
If we just met them, you know.
exactly, but at this point, I want them to say yes, 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 yes. So by the time we're at the end, they don't have a problem saying, yeah, I think that's something I would like to try.
Right.
So they're already in yes mode. But I'm telling you what I'm looking for.
Right.
These are all qualities that you'll see under the DISC. These are all qualities that I love to work with in women. But how I figure that out is just by personality.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you how to find out their personality now. Okay? Are you excited to find that out?
Sure.
The first question that you asked, tell me a little bit about you. If Bobby or whoever you're talking to, when they say, I've done this, I've done this, these are my accomplishments, this is what I'm doing, this is my focus, this is where I'm at, that's a deep personality. Okay? If they say, well, I went to grade school at Lee Elementary. I then became a mascot for the Blue Jays, and I danced around in a little blue outfit. And then in high school, I was the FHA leader, and I was a cheerleader. And then in college, I was in a sorority, and I do this. I am a mom of 3. I take care of this committee and this committee. And I love to shop. I love to go to movies. I love watching movies. Do you see?
It's
They're-
the I personality.
Yeah, that and
some D.
yeah, but the continuing to talk about themselves, and not that that's a bad thing, but they're just trying to explain who they are. They're trying to show you this is who I am, and they like to have fun and everything. So that's kind of it. So you'll kind of get a feel for it when you talk to them about, and if they say, I'm working as a retail manager, and you can say, well, tell me, what do you like best about that? And so, if she says, oh, I love working with people. So you can surmise that she likes working with people. You don't have to ask these set questions.
Right.
This is just to give you a guideline. The ones that I put up here on number 5, are you reliable? Are you a woman of your word? Are you teachable? Do you like Mary Kay products? Do you value relationships? Is your faith important to you? I think those are all for everybody.
Right.
That covers everybody. But there's key words that I have put in here that work for different personality types. Achievement goes with a D personality. Fun, prizes goes with the I personality, and recognition. Family is definitely a key word for the S's, and C is structure, organized, next step type of person. Okay? They like to do things step by step by step. Okay, so back to that first question. Tell me about you. So you know what the D is going to do, you know what the I is going to do. What do you think the S might say?
We'll talk about their family.
That's right. They're going to talk about their family first, and they're going to probably start with, well, I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, or I am a mother, and because that's what is at the forefront of their mind. That's what their focus is, okay? So when you're listening to someone and you're talking to them, put a check mark or a star. Or, write down up here and then put a check mark or a star, or you can do something, but if you're on the phone with someone, you can put a big old circle. Whatever you have to do to remind yourself, I think that this is her personality type. You don't have to put people in a box either. Just ask questions and get to know people. That's what this business is about. It's about building strong relationships. And you get to know them. You'll get to know people as you talk to them about the opportunity. C personality, that's the easiest one ever to recognize. Because when you say, tell me a little bit about yourself, they say, what do you want to know? Every time. Not kidding. I've done this for a long time. Every time they say, well, what do you want to know? Because that's too broad of a question for them. They're like, well, do you want to know about? And so once they say that, I say, well, tell me a little bit about, career, hobby, family, whatever you'd like to tell me about. But at that point, I'm like, check mark, C personality, very distinct. And so that is, and they just know they might want to see literature and things like that. Does that help a little bit? Okay, great. What other questions, comments, concerns do you have?
I think it's exciting when you have someone sign their agreement, and when you're a director, of course, you are the one that sits down and talks to them about inventory and all of that. But when you're a consultant, especially if you're brand new, you probably feel like, oh, what now? What's the next step? What do I do now? And I just wanted to get some feedback from you. How quickly do you start talking about that when they've made a decision to join Mary Kay? Do you set, right away you start sitting down and discussing it if they're interested, or do you kind of, book another time to talk about that shortly afher they've joined?
I usually set up a second.
Because you don't want to overwhelm them.
No, because, and another thing is I feel like you start and you're excited, let them have that excitement, because when you do get together to talk more about how they want to run their business,
Right.
are we just going to lay the cards on the table and say, look, this is how much product you can get. It's good. And it's important to get product, and here's the options. No, not me. I want to know what their plans are.
Sure.
What are you most excited about? When we got together, we talked about, what Bobby's most excited about, and what are your goals? How can because I need to know how I can support you and your goals, and I need to know kind of where you're at. And then once I know where you're at, I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to show you some different options available. And so, and after we go over InTouch and do some other orientation. And Michelle, I would encourage you, when you get into Star Team Builder, to really start, who is taking care of, who is doing orientations with your new team members?
Right now, there is no one. I mean, I have a director that lives up in.
Okay, but she doesn't do those?
She does not typically, no. I would have to probably call her offspring sales director, Jackie Shoemaker.
Okay, no.
She has two, Lori Bailey and Jackie Shoemaker.
And so do they step in for?
They could, yes. If I called them, I know they would, yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we'll figure it out, at the time that you're moving up the career path, you can observe me.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be able to just set up separate appointments with you,
But just kind of watch.
but you can come watch me anytime you want.
Yeah.
And you can join in and just act like a fly on the wall and just listen and learn.
Yeah,
So
okay.
you have
That'd
that
be great.
opportunity, and you can do them yourself.
Okay.
So we can definitely do that. What other questions do you all have? That was a really good question, by the way.
When you're sure, I think I know the answer to this already, but obviously when you're meeting people and you're facialing them, and especially when you have several women that are gathered, you have certain women that stand out, and those are the women you want to for sure talk to about this career opportunity. But because you don't want to overlook anybody, do you still try to share it with everybody and give them the opportunity to determine? I mean, obviously, if somebody really is negative and you don't know that that's someone you want to work with, you have the decision and opportunity to not pursue it with that person, right?
Excuse me,
But beyond that,
if I don't want to,
if you don't know,
if I don't want to sleep with her
Yeah.
and I go to seminar,
yes.
I will not invite her to be a
Okay,
consultant.
so you do try to share with as many women as you
You can pre-qualify.
but you don't necessarily
can-
do it with everybody,
No,
right? Because-
no. You can pre-qualify.
Right. Is it
You
somebody
know,
you want to work with,
Is this someone that I would like to work with?
connect with?
99% of the people that I meet, like I'd be fine traveling with. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
However, if someone is negative, no. If she's just really negative, nasty, or uses profanity at the table, or
Yeah.
those are things that I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If that's just my choice. It's your choice who you want to work with,
Right.
and
Because I know sometimes you're so
Or if they're-
excited to share.
yeah, or if
Bill.
she talks about like abusing her children.
Yeah.
We get to pick who we want to
Yeah,
work with,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's one of the beauties of Mary Kay. But also when you have the closing sheet that we talked about last week?
Mhm.
Last week. That closing sheet's going to give you an idea,
Right.
because at the bottom, if she says that she would be willing to listen to the facts
Then you.
for training, then and it's questionable, you could touch on it with her and say, I would like to share some facts about Mary Kay with you. Is this something that you'd like to hear a little bit more about?
Thank you for that.
That's how I would ask the person that I'm just like,
Not
it's
sure
okay.
you want to. Yeah.
yeah, it's okay, but I don't want her to miss out on the opportunity, because I hate for anybody to miss out on the opportunity.
And Mary Kay
It's
can
not-
change you big time.
That's
Mhm.
right. Anybody can change.
Do you know the national Diane Sumter?
I do.
Do you know her story? She
I
was
do.
in the Navy and
Yeah,
her language was not the greatest.
exactly. Well, I'm not saying that I'm
Mary
a
Kay
prude.
Right.
I'm
But
not
I mean,
a prude. If someone
Mary
uses a
Kay-
curse word, I'm not saying, "Ooh."
No. But you do want to.
If you only knew. I'm just saying,
Right.
I
I guess I'm wondering, when because you're in a safe suit, but we're building up our career path. So we are
Sure.
trying to get the experience. And sometimes I feel like when you're anxious to see how this all works, you just want to share with everybody.
it's
Right.
okay to share with everyone to get practice, because y'all need
Mhm.
practice. You need lots of practice.
Lots and lots of it.
So share with everyone. One thing that I have always discouraged, and that is prejudging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's what.
Can she
That's what
afford
I'm saying.
it? Does she have time? Or maybe she's already got enough money, she would never want to do this. So it's on both ends of the
Sure.
spectrum.
Right.
We don't want to do that.
Mhm. I've heard too many people at talks, at things I've gone to that, I can't remember her name right now, but one of the gals I went and saw, she had an income that she didn't need to do it,
Tammy Craig.
Tammy Craig.
and she's a
National.
national. And it's like, gee.
And she retired
Yeah,
her
but she
husband because of
just-
it.
Because, she wanted something that was
She needed
hers,
That's
and
right.
it was something that fulfilled her as a person, and
There's
and
There's
she's
other
very
nationals like
successful
that.
because of it.
and there's so many reasons why someone may want to start their own Mary Kay business. Is it really your job to pick and choose? No.
No.
Just offer it. But if there's somebody there that is just like, we also have to honor Mary Kay
Oh,
in
right.
who
Sure.
we have representing us.
Right.
Because not only are the nationals representing our company, every consultant out there is representing our company, okay?
Mhm.
And so anyone that you share the opportunity with is going to be a representative of your team and future unit. So that's something to think about as well. But don't be
right now.
don't be all stressed out about it. Just offer the opportunity, and if they start, great. And if they are successful, great. And if they're not, that's their choice. Great too.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I think back to when I first got around Mary Kay, as far as the makeup and going, and I had a facial at my house, and I wasn't offered it. And now I look back at that and I think,
Why?
15 years ago, I could have been a consultant.
Yeah.
I could have been a consultant, I could be in a car, I could be a director, I could be a lot of places that
That's
I
right.
am not now.
And how,
And, so it's
Yeah.
like,
So you just never know.
they
I
judged
had this-
that I wasn't ready or I wasn't able, and they didn't even
Yeah.
ask me.
see.
So ask
and that's-
everybody.
So that is damaging.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, it
someone
is.
gave me a tape and never called me back. And I wanted to become a consultant. And that was when I was about 25 years old. And they never called me back. She never called me back to replenish my product. She never called me back to get her tape back that I listened to and was excited about becoming a consultant. So follow
Just
up.
never know.
Yeah.
Follow up is key. I will tell you that. You can do as many of these as you want, but if you don't follow up with people, it's not going to work out. I'm going to go through a little bit of a different scenario. Let's say that Bobby said, well, I just want to think about it. I can say, I can respect that. I understand that sometimes you just have to give it some thought and maybe want to pray about it. Are there any other questions that you have for me? And she's like, no. Okay. Well, I want to ask you real quickly, Bobby, if this is okay. Because sometimes people want to think about it and they want to pray about it, but then they get home and they pray about it, and God is just like tugging on your string saying, just do it, you're going to have so much fun. I would love to be able to email you the agreement, and just so you can look it over too if you want to check it out. Would that be okay if I emailed you that to look it over? Okay, great. And then if God is tapping you on the shoulder in the middle of the night and saying, go fill that out, then you can go ahead and fill it out, okay? And then we can go ahead and get things started. But otherwise, I'll probably just give you a call tomorrow, and I can answer any questions that you have, okay? Awesome. Sounds good. So,
You set a specific time with them? Or?
I asked
just
when is
a
good.
time?
I asked when's a good time, when are you available tomorrow? Another thing is, if they say, no, I don't think so, I'm really busy at this time, you don't want to keep badgering them. One of the reasons why these are good is that I want you to be able to expect them to have opposition.
Right.
Sometimes we share the opportunity and we don't expect opposition, and then we're all freaked out. Oh my gosh, she said she doesn't have time. Well, you should be learning how to talk to them about that and say, well, tell me about what your day looks like. Ask questions. Why doesn't she have time? Well, tell me what that looks like for you.
Mhm.
Because maybe she doesn't realize that doesn't have a commitment. It is just as much as she wants to put into it.
Right.
Okay? So we need to be prepared to overcome objections. And when you get good at that, then it really does prepare you to answer people's questions. Okay? So, any other questions?
What about when they say I don't have enough money?
Oh, I don't have enough money. Well, how does that feel?
Not fun.
I agree. I remember a time when I was down to my last $10, and that is not a fun place to be. But you know what? Thankfully, because of Mary Kay, if I'm short on cash, I can go to a skincare class or a party and have some quick cash because I handle all the money. How would that feel to know that you always have an extra $100 in your account?
Nice.
Great. Michelle, if I have got this right, I think you're probably a make it happen type of woman, right?
I try to be.
Okay. Pretty resourceful?
Can be. Yes.
Okay. If you knew that there was an amazing opportunity and you're only $100 away from an amazing opportunity, what would keep you from coming up with $100?
Probably not much.
Okay. That sounds great. Well, I'd like to have your permission to go ahead and send you the agreement tonight. And I'm going to, see if you can go home and work on that and figure out what you can do, because I know you're a make it happen type of woman. Okay. All right. Sounds good. How do you like that?
Makes complete sense. I agree. Because if they're either going to do it, they're going to do it. If they really
they're gonna-
want it.
That's
they
right.
will.
If they really want it, they'll find a way. Miss Bobby here found a way to become a star.
Yes.
And she was creative and she was wise about, getting her business started. And she's like, yes, this is important to me, and I know I want to work my business this way. So women will find a way, make a way when it's important to them, when it's a
Right.
priority.
And they really want it.
okay?
Mhm.
If they don't really want it, maybe it's an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay?
Makes sense.
What other objection or question? Any other thing that you have?
When it comes to time for your new team member to make her initial buy,
Mhm.
I know that goes to the director because I'm a senior consultant, but not a
Mhm.
director yet.
Uh-huh.
And that's something that you guys do.
Mhm.
Do I do it to Heidi or to you or?
Heidi. Heidi handles that.
She's
And
me.
for those
Yeah.
of you watching the video, we have a
I'm
couple
sorry.
of ladies, no, that's okay. We have a couple of ladies here that have different sales directors, but they're on our A team. That means they're adopted into our Mary Kay family. And so if you are going to someone else's meetings, you would contact me. And your new consultants, I will be in contact with them to go over the information with them about the product. I want to get to know them, how much they're going to work their business, and kind of what guidance they need from me, and also about product orders. Directors of that unit always help with that, and that's what we get paid for, is doing the training and things.
Yeah.
So that's part of it.
So what we need to do is go to our directors
Yep.
and ask them to help us.
Well, they would love that.
You
Yeah.
know,
They
they
would
don't
be-
may
I
not
know.
even know you're out
I
there
know.
doing interviews. So
They would be excited. So okay. So how hard did this?
it's not hard.
I think
It's very easy.
that's
Yeah.
a lot
I think
easier
we make
than
it
what.
harder than we need to.
I've got 2 or 3 different versions at home and I've never liked any of them. And I
Do you
really
like
like
this?
this one.
I like to.
I'm feeling
I do too.
excited.
Because
Short and to
it's
the
not
point.
so long
Yeah.
and you don't have to say so much.
Now, if they ask a lot of questions,
much.
then you can get into
Answer.
more in depth.
Yeah, you
but
that's
can
right.
answer,
But
yeah,
you're not-
what they need.
keeping them
You're-
longer than
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
want.
that's right.
Yeah.
You're not keeping them longer than they want.
So if
They're-
they're really interested, they will be asking.
That's
lots of
right.
questions.
They're engaged. They're asking questions. So, well, ladies, I'm so excited that you'd like this, and because I'm gonna give you a challenge on this. Can you imagine?
I'm so
Okay.
surprised.
Okay,
I'm not
Since
surprised.
it's so short and sweet, and by the way, if you did these in a group, what you'd want to do is just have but you fill out the information. Don't have them fill this out, okay? You fill it all out. Say, okay, Deidre, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I absolutely love it.
Okay,
Now-
so
You're on the phone.
so no, if there's
I'm already
no-
in.
well, if there's several
Okay,
and they're all
cool.
sitting here,
Yeah.
I would just say, oh, if you want to stay late for 15 minutes, ladies, okay, tell me a little bit about, but if I already know about her, I can speed it up a little bit. But tell me about you. Okay, well, tell me about you. And so keep it on different page. Okay, well, tell me about you, Bobby. And
you're
then
writing it down.
that way you can kind of have an idea of, okay, what background, what work, what family, what do I need to talk about in my little I story, my short little.
Short.
Yeah, yes, you want to keep it short, and if they've already just been at a party with you and you already told your I story, don't retell it. They've already heard that, and say, all right, now ladies, I'm learning to answer people's questions in Mary Kay, so based on what you've heard about Mary Kay, what I talked about earlier and stuff, and about the products you've tried, based on that, what would you need to know, make a decision about it? And they're like, about it, say, about joining my team. Or, however you want to say that, okay? Okay. So, I challenge you to go do 10 this week. You know what 10 means?
Yes,
10.
10.
Easy peasy pumpkin squeezy is what my kids would say. It's,
Well, and hopefully it's 10 people you've either already facialed or will be.
they have to,
facialed.
yes, they need to have tried the product.
Someone you've already been
Mhm.
working with.
Somebody that is your customer, or somebody that you, as a brand new customer, that has tried the product. If they haven't tried the product with you, they better be your best friend, because otherwise you're kind of stealing them from somebody else. Okay? So make sure that you're classifying that. 10 of these, and you'll get a prize.
And
So-
we do this by next Tuesday?
Do this by next Tuesday. Bring them in. Okay, you can save these. That's another important thing. I've got mine in my book right here, my binder. I 3-hole punch them, because what I do is I keep track of these, and then if they're not interested today, that doesn't mean they're not interested next week. And so I can call them back after I'd made notes on here and said, let's say Deidre told me, well, right now my daughter's getting married and I've got this going on, so I really can't do it right now. I say, you know what, right now's probably not your time. That would just be too overwhelming. Let's go ahead, I'm gonna get back with you later in the month, okay? So you're gonna make yourself a note, and maybe you're gonna dog ear it, or you're gonna tag it, or flag it, or put March and highlighter across it, whatever you have to do. Then you're gonna go, so then when Mary Kay has these amazing promotions that it's like the starter kit's on sale or whatever, you're gonna go back through and you're like, I'm calling all these people because they've already heard the Mary Kay opportunity.
And that's the time.
Absolutely, so it makes it pretty amazing. So, all right, thank you so much, ladies, for watching the video and for being here tonight. Give yourself a big round of applause. Yay!
If I can.